Good evening. It's the day after and time for reflection. Lubo from the Spurs 5 talking about yesterday's game and also picking up on what's gone on this weekend. Everybody turned up yesterday full of life, full of confidence, really looking forward to the game. 2 wins out of 2, superb performance at Man City. Burnley we put away second with a great second half performance. Say maybe not great, but very good. Xavi Simons had joined on Friday. I got in the car, went down with my pal and my son. Couldn't wait for the game to start. Got there, everything was fine. Protest, unfortunately, was a damp squib, which we're not surprised about. Bearing in mind that, we started off with 2 wins. We bought 3 very good players on top of winning the Europa League in Bilbao. So for me, nothing to protest about. I'm sure the guys will give it a lot of thought and come back, but they've got to take a break now. So moving on from the protest, I'm sure you would have all seen Sean's clip where we had a chat, and he was having a chat with a few people. So moving on from that, went into the ground, really looking forward to the match. Bit surprised at the team sheet. A lot of people were saying, okay, Spurs have played well last week, he's going to keep the same team. Problem was that Areola had put Semenya onto the left-hand side. Defensively, Porro is the weak link, and they exploited that really well. On to team selection. For me, I would have started with Spence at right back, Udogie at left back. I would have pushed Porro further forward, so he played where Kudus started. And I would have pushed Kudus into the 10 because we were lacking creativity. And this was not the game for Pape Sarr as a 10. We needed legs. I think we saw, Pellegrini and Bentancur together are great when you're defending. But for me, at home, you need one or the other. And I would have put Sarr back there to have given the legs with either Pellegrini or Bentancur. So that, for me, that was a surprise. As it turned out, that's virtually how he finished. Started off, first 30 seconds were really good. Could have scored, and then the light just went off, didn't it? And we had literally 75, 80 minutes where we struggled. And until Brighton's intensity waned a little bit, we could have been 4 or 5-0 down. And you look at the first half, we just weren't in it, were we? The midfield 3 behind Evan Nielsen, of Brooks, Tavernier and Semenya were literally, they were playing round us. Semenya was just, he had Porro on toast. It was embarrassing, to be fair. Unfortunately, Romero wasn't on top of his game either. And that allowed Bournemouth to get in and get in between the right back and between Porro and Romero on several occasions. And with the amount they hit the bar, they had 4 free headers. One of them, I don't know how Semenya missed and put it over the top. So all they had to show for it by half-time and a half of complete dominance. I think they'd had something like 16 shots on targets or shots, period, to 0 for Spurs. Went in at half-time, you think to yourself, great, Frank's going to get them in and he's going to shake them up and he's going to give them 10 minutes and we're going to see a new Spurs come out. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. He made changes on 54. He brought Bergvall and Odegaard. He brought them on. That gave us some legs, gave us a little bit of spark. Odegaard lights running at fullbacks. Bergvall gave us some legs. Sarr was pushed back further into midfield with Bentancur, and slowly, Spurs started to get back in from about 70, 75 minutes, having survived with 2 great saves by Vicario. The last 15 minutes was more Spurs pressure, but you just couldn't see where the goal was coming from. Literally, Bergvall had a shot from the edge of the box straight at the keeper. Odegaard blasted over from 16 yards when he really should have hit the target. And to be fair, that was it. And I think Bournemouth came away with a well-deserved win. You look at the players. For me, only Vicario and Van der Ven and Spence came out with any credit. Romero, unfortunately, was a bit lackadaisical, lost his concentration. Looking at Porro had an absolute nightmare. I'm not sure. I don't think I'd be playing Porro right back anymore. His defensive deficiencies, unfortunately, were exposed, and Bournemouth were hitting. Aside from playing the little balls, little 1-2s, and playing around us in midfields, there were long balls into the channel for Semenya to run onto. Porro could not get near him, and when he did, he couldn't get the ball off him. I thought Evan Nilsson's runs, little diagonal darts away from our defenders into space in the final third, were superb. And I thought Iriola had them well drilled, well set up, and to sort of give an analysis of the game, pure and simple. They pressed us into submission the way we did to Pep's City last week. So sort of came away from that, and you sort of look at it, and it was a really big disappointment. And you realise then how many players Spurs we are short, that Frank needs in able to have a squad, rotate a squad, play different teams for different matches. He's got to have different players in different positions for different games as well. And we are well short. We missed a creative player yesterday. Xavi Simons hopefully will come in and will fill that as a 10. People shouldn't expect too much. You know, players coming into the Premier League, and Florian Wirtz is a prime example. Liverpool spent 116 million on him. Phenomenal for Leverkusen. Hasn't quite found his feet yet in the Premiership. He will do. He'll be a superb player for them. But it will take him a short while to get into it. And I hope people don't expect Simmons, because of the whole razzmatazz for yesterday's transfer, or Friday's transfer, should I say, that everybody expects him to come in and be a world beater from day one. We are desperately short of an 11. I think we all saw that yesterday. Johnson was so poor. So poor. He's a strange one with Johnson. Does the hardest thing in the game, which is put the ball in the back of the net. And apart from that, he does nothing. Absolutely nothing. So you had Johnson, who was out of the game, and Ritchie, who was absolutely appalling, kept falling over. Diakite was absolutely superb. Won everything in the air against him. Won everything basically on the floor as well. Referee saw through Richarlison. Wave play on every time. So in effect, you know, you're playing with 9 men to start with, and that left too much on Kudus' shoulders. He was guilty because of that, of hanging on to the ball once or twice too often. But I'm sure everybody can see he's a superb talent. So all in all, we sort of come to the end of the weekend. We're fourth in the table. I think it can't be too big a meltdown. At the beginning of the season, we'd have taken 9 points, not 9 points. We'd have taken 6 points from the first 3 games. We've got that. We've conceded 1 goal only. This is going to be a journey for Frank. He's got years and years of either under recruitment or wasted recruitment to sort out. He will get there. He's drilling the team for the first time in 2 years. We're looking like a proper outfit. We played well against PSG, against Burnley and against City. Let's not get too panicky because of 1 defeat. But I think it did show that Levy and the team have got